Hi, my name is Heath Wilcock, and I'm going to show you how I use Stefan's RMBC method to write advertorials. Now, as I go through this, first up at top, I want to let you know that this is the way that I write advertorials. There are probably multiple, many ways to write advertorials. This is the way that I found most, I guess, the easiest way to approach it, that you're able to produce the fastest amount of work that is also top quality. In other words, you're able to not get so much into your brains, into your brain, into your head. You're looking at the blank screen or the blank page, and it's getting a little frustrating. You don't know where to start, and you're always looking at just a bunch of swipes. I'm going to show you just like step by step what I do. That makes it really easy, so you don't have to worry so much. You don't have to think too hard if you need to write an advertorial, and you can write them. Also, I want you to know that they're really fun. And Stefan's RMBC method is really helpful. And the reason why is because it breaks it down, just the steps of what to take to then basically start from step one to the last step of what to do to get the copy that you need. And then I'll show you just how to plug it into an advertorial set. And I'll also show you the tools that I use. I'm not saying I recommend them as in I have an affiliate link or I get a commission. I don't at all for any of this, for what I'm going to recommend and show you. These are just tools that I use personally that have helped me along the way. I now write an advertorial probably roughly one a day at this point. And the reason why is because native is growing. I'm in the native space, so native is growing. And with that, e-com is growing. So I'm doing mainly e-com advertorials, but I'll also show you like lead gen and so on. They all work around the same premise, okay? Now, sorry, I have to scratch my nose. And if we don't edit it out, then you get to see me scratch my face and scratch my nose. So first off, I want to go through what is an advertorial. So an advertorial is how I think of it, and you can look them up. They've been around forever. It's almost like taking the long form of a Facebook ad and making it into a different format. It's used for compliance reasons. It's how I always look at it, two parts: compliance and also converting cold audience into buyers by that process of educating and giving story and giving value and what it is and why it's important, what makes it exciting. Because then you go to typically a short form like an e-com sales page, because you did most of the selling from the advertorial, right? So an advertorial, how I see it, sorry, again, itchy nose, apologize. How I see an advertorial is, we also call them like farticles. They're approaching it as a way of, look at this editorial. This is an education piece. We're going to give you some value, some education, and show you some cool things about this new product that's come out, this new way of life that's come out. So a lot of times advertorials have a higher sense of urgency. This just happened. Look at this. This is exciting. If you have this, take a look at this. And here's the reason why. Like, we're not going to lead them on or bury the lead or any of that. We are just getting right to the point. And that's the purpose of the advertorial, giving that education. And then also, we're looking for the clicks. We're measuring the data. So we're looking at all the clicks that are going to that landing page that go to the sales page. So with that being said, I test multiple advertorials. And when I say that, I take the same copy, I split test it on multiple different design layouts, as well as, of course, new headlines and new leads. We're constantly testing these things. Done are the old ways of, I mean, it can still happen, but I think of the old direct mailing like advertorial, or like that it's put inside of a magazine that's been running for 20 plus years. This is a little different when it comes to online. Things are churning and burning with the way the economy is going, the CPMs and so on. So here's what I do for advertorials. Answer these questions. What is it? Why is it? How does it work? What makes it different? How do I get it now? That's it. What is it? Why is it? How does it, why is it? Why do you need it? Why is this important? Why are you bothering me? Those things, get right to it. How does it work? Detail it. The more detail, the better. And this goes for advertorial and for copy in general too. The more detail you can give, the better. And the reason why is because you're starting to trigger certain emotions in them when it comes to the different senses. And there's always a difference. People connect to the specificity of things. So that's something really, really important. So how does it work? Really detail how does it work, because that it lets them also to see the future pace of what they can, the life they can have because of how you're detailing it. Because they can see themselves like, oh, I can picture myself actually using it, actually wearing this. What makes it different? How do I get it now? Now, advertorials range anywhere between 750 to 1,400 words. I'll show you an example of short advertorials and long form advertorials. And now this is a good point to bring up, and it was brought up the other day too. Some people are like, wow, this is a little bit longer, or this is a little shorter, like it all ranges. How you can know is this. If you are using, I'll show you multiple examples of the difference between what I call a jump page, or not what I call, but the industry also calls a jump page compared to an advertorial. A jump page is typically from ad to it's an advertorial, but it's short and it's not a lot of, there's no pictures, usually top. It's mainly used in the supplement space, top banner with a headline, just a lot of curiosity, and then to get you to watch a VSL. The idea is for compliance reasons a lot of the times, because compliance doesn't want you to go from ad to VSL. They used to long ago, but now it's more compliance. So what is that? And those are a lot shorter. And how do you write those compared to advertorial for like an e-com product or lead gen that typically could be longer? That's how I break it down. Again, there isn't a set word limit. It's looking at your audience. Are they a bunch of readers? So for example, if you're sending traffic from Snapchat, are you going to send them to a long form sales page? Probably not. It's not going to load and they're not going to read it. So obviously knowing your audience, knowing if they're going to read, if they're going to sit and read, or if they're not. Do they need a lot of pictures? These are things I'm going to show you here. So here's what I do. I take the RMBC method and I break it down the advertorial and the pass system. The pass system is just very simple. Okay, we don't have to, and I know that Stefan's breakdown is brilliant with the sales letter, and I'll show you what to do with the mechanism, because it's my favorite part of the offer of anything of presenting through the sales copy is the mechanism. So his is very structured for a sales letter. It's almost like taking a sales letter and scrunching it down and making maybe some areas longer and some areas shorter. And I'll show you what I mean by that. The structure you want to follow for an advertorial that I've seen most work is the pain agitation solution. Pain up top. Still aching from achy joints, still suffering from achy pain in the morning, achy joints in the morning that can't get you out of bed, and you wish nothing more than to feel alive like you did. You could have sworn just even last week. What's happening? It's all falling apart so fast. The pain, and then you agitate. What does that mean? So how I see it is when it goes to pain, think of it this way. If that's true, what else is true? So, and because then that connects to immediately down to the next step, which is of course that agitation. The agitation is that answering, if that's true, what else is true? So if you have pain, let's take for example, the demographic of 65 or older. Let's say achy pain, achy joints, muscle, let's say arthritis. And that's what I'm going to show you an example down here. It deals with arthritis. So this is a demographic, a demo that they have such bad pain that also it starts to affect other parts of their life, where maybe their children and their grandchildren stop coming and visiting them as much. That's agitating. What does that mean to them? They stop visiting as much. And I know for a fact, senior citizens, those that are older, they want more visitors. They're noticing they don't have that life anymore around them. The people running in and out, the kids running and having a good time. Let's go fishing. These thing, everything is slowing down, and they talk about they don't have the people coming anymore. That's agitation. That's really turning up. That's really hurting them. So then, and then how they also that agitation again. If that's true, what else is true? Leads to discovery. Now, for how I do the discovery portion, two parts. For this demo, you want to have it from a friend. And I changed it up in the actual version, and I'll show you. So leads to discovery. Either A, they research and find it and detail what makes it so unique, or B, they find out about the product via a neighbor or friend. And that's a really big one for this demo. A lot of the times the trust comes from another friend, a neighbor. And how I found out about this too, if something that I also do with the RMBC method is I also get on a call. I figure out who I can get on a call with as soon as possible in that demo and talk about in that demo, and then suffering from this specific pain that we're trying to solve for this offer. So I'll get their information, like how do they come across it? What is something that they don't like? What is something they do like? So understanding how they actually find the solution that they're looking for and believe it's going to help them. And for this demo, it's friends. Honestly, it's friends. It's amazing. It's cool. So you can use that in the advertorial, and I'll show you how I do that. Followed by, of course, if that's true, what else is true is, again, the solution. They find the solution, and then from the solution, I break down reasonably how it works and what to expect. And the reason why I say reasonably is because I want something is really important is to not say, not show that it's like, wham, bam, look at all this pain gone in an instant. Yes, they want that, and this demo understands that they need to take action now because they understand that their life is going very, very fast. But they've also been duped before and have tried multiple things, so you have to be reasonable with them. So you say and I'll show you how I break it down in the copy. So here are the 4 adverts that I stick to. Nightmare story using demo. I did this probably the most, and I'm going to show you this example. Disrupting company or business owner. And nightmare story, I kind of like, maybe there's a combination of 2, but I'll show you disrupting company, business owner, what that angle looks like and why. A lot of the times this is it's fighting the big enemy. So it's the doctor that's fighting against the other doctors just being that are just following the crowd and doing what doctors should be doing and just throwing medications. It's that controversial doctor. It's that company that sees there's a big problem with big pharma or big food companies, and this is what they do to solve it. People love that. People love underdog stories. It's just in their brains. It's, again, the stories. Reviews ones are really, really good because what you're doing is you're leveraging a trust from a third-party source saying, hey, we got these things in, these headphones in, this new handheld alarm, these new sunglasses or whatever, and we put it to the test. And here's how we broke it down. This is how we reviewed it. This is what we did. And here are the winners. So I'll show you the review one as well. I have no idea. You know what? I think it's allergies. That's why I mentioned my nose. Ugh. Third person interview news angle. I'll show you this one too. This is the classic. I'll show you the one that I did. A couple in here, but I can show you how that approach. This is that breaking news, almost like daily news, or I'm sorry, Daily Mail that you would see on Daily Mail, or it blends in very natively to what you would see as a normal article on the HuffPost, Fox News, Breitbart, CNN, whatever. That third person style that if you're suffering from this, a lot of Americans say they tried this. According to Veronica from this location, she says, blah, blah, blah. That very newsy style. I do that as well. I probably do this the most. It's the most impactful because it also just approaches it in such a great way for a cold audience for that nightmare story. So how I also start, one second. So what I do, so here's what I do for the advertorial. So I'm looking for the research part is I stick to the RMBC method. I'm researching, I'm going to forums, I'm looking for stories, pain stories of what people are suffering through right now that everyone gathers around and understands that story. In other words, someone with arthritis that it also is like everyone can relate to it. And the reason why I say that story is because I'm looking for the story that most are being affected by. So it's like maybe arthritis in the knees. Maybe it's tendonitis That's a whole nother niche and a whole nother area is, the golfer elbow, the tennis elbow. So I'm looking for the people that it's like, yes, I suffer from this. Oh man, I totally get the achy knees and the joints and all this. And these are their experiences. So I'm looking for what their experience is, and I'm looking at their language. And the reason why is, I believe Stefan mentioned this too, everyone's using a certain code. When everyone suffers together on a certain level, they use different language from outsider people that suffer. They're like, oh, or do you suffer ache? Maybe here's an example. If someone says, oh, you suffer from achy joints, and maybe from the layperson, they're like, oh, I understand the achy joints, but I don't have them. But maybe the person with the actual achy joints, maybe they call it something else. Maybe they call it like knee swelling. Maybe that group in that community, they call it knee swelling, and that's what that is. So if you were able to infiltrate, get in there, see how they're communicating, then use that language, and you're turning it and putting it back on them, then they feel as if the person that is speaking to them with the possible solution actually understands them because they're using the same language. So this is what I'm looking for. So as we go along here, I love using a question headline or a testimonial headline. But I split test lots of headlines. So here's what I do for the main advertorial that I write is the nightmare story. So as you can see here, the total story is from the point of the test to then the feature, boom, right here. So I'll show you. We're going to go through here. This is how long it looks like a lot. It's not. I'm double spacing. It's a higher font. I'm using like 16 font. So I bought the Hemingway app here, and the reason why is because you can use it offline, and it's great. Grade 4, boom, boom, boom. So about that many words. Now this is longer advert. So I go through here, obviously, and I would clean this up and everything, but everything's looking good. And I've already had this also ran through Stefan and Justin through the copy accelerator, which is massively valuable to making all the copy much better. So that's how I start. I start with the story. I take the lead and everything, and I start with the story, and I start it with that right away, the big pain up top. And the big pain up top for this demographic is, why won't grandpa come out and play? And I split tested with, why won't grandma come out and play? Because we also see that according to our clicks, we're seeing more 65 and older women clicking on our ads right now. So that tells us, okay, let's split test, obviously, do the whole grandma angle and see how that does. So we're splitting many advertorials to find a winner and different angles. So this is the story one. This just goes through the pain. Why won't grandpa come out to play? I'll never forget hearing those words that came out from my 8-year-old grandson. I could hear him all the way from the room where I sat alone on the edge of my bed, looking out the window, wishing I could do something as simple as get up and walk again. This is, for an advertorial, this is almost like the lead. I mean, there's a more lead, obviously, because it's now, the truth is, I think eventually, it's, let's see here, right here, because I'm going to reveal. So you could say, I guess, all of this could be considered a lead, but advertorials are much shorter than normal sales letter and all this. How I think of a lead is, as long as you're pulling them in, I to be honest, I probably could be split testing because, thankfully I eventually found a solution. I should probably anchor it right here. I'm just trying to pull them in to get them gripped into like that story, to pull them along, making each line sell to the next line, and making sure that I'm getting them connected from the advertorial to the consumer, the possible consumer. So that's my job. So I'm just going through here and then put like, I tend to do like an image. There's no rhyme or reason. I definitely tend to show, when I place them, it's like maybe every 3 to 4 paragraphs. But to be honest, I start placing images up top for the nightmare one with nightmare scenarios up top, like the pain up top, followed by, as we're getting closer to the solution, more of that future pacing, that brighter future, that excitement, the sunny, the bright. So it's almost like, it just ramps, goes from like feeling bad to then feeling amazing. Okay. So that's what I do. I do the whole story, everything that needs to be part of the story, which is what is it, it's going from the pain that I suffered. I also test this too. It's almost like a little insert ad because you have to think about scrollers, people that just come on this thing and scroll. So I do insert this about a fourth way in. So I lead up all this pain, and then I like one big like something major happened that did it, that really kind of like the agitate part, like I mentioned in the past. The one day while golfing 9 holes, I swung a little too wide at pop. I went down like a sack of potatoes, right? And then show an image, and I describe the kind of image I want to show, followed by this almost like Johnson box, basically. Right below it, it's this insert. Agora uses this in their emails. A lot of people, you see it all the time. It's like, it's like an ad. It's its own thing, but it's connected to what you're reading, if that makes sense. Again, it's this adverts kind of style, the native kind of style. So, and I also have to consider, like, we're dealing with scrollers, fast scrollers. Everyone's either on their phone. This will probably be more desktop, but regardless, it does catch the eye and gets them to pause and then ask this question. And yeah, this is what we test. So anyway, this goes into the agitation. Doctor said I couldn't play golf anymore. He said I was lucky this time. What happened to me? I remember thinking all these things were, everything has changed me. Mistakes along the way, but now, and then right here, because I'm going to reveal, I discovered the best non-expected pain relieving solution that helped me live a happier, healthier life free of aches and pains. And then trust me, I didn't think it was possible either. So we're going into now the reveal. I tried everything, tried all these things. So then again, this is coming from the research. You've tried, people that have tried things and it didn't work, and why they didn't work. So turmeric one. People talk about turmeric because there's all those angles out right now in VSL saying turmeric, turmeric, turmeric. So I just go, expensive and still in pain. Just kind of throw it away. This kind of tone of this old, this grandpa. I'm using terms like, let me show you. This is also, yeah, I'm the fun grandpa. Oh yeah, here we go. Here I am swollen the size of a cantaloupe and trying to keep pain pills down, hoping they take effect fast. They never do. What a ripoff. So it's that tone of that first person tone of this grandpa. And the reason why also I use first person, this is a side note, good to know. The reason why first person is so powerful is because it's the most empathetic way for the consumer to get in the feet in the shoes of the person that has tried the product and seen positive results. So it's if you can write it from the point of view of a 65-year-old person that has achy joints but no longer has achy joints because of this product, and you do it correctly, it's very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. So I love first person. A lot of people do this too. I mean, this is not new, and I'll show you the other examples here. So again, all the research, as long as you're answering those questions like I mentioned, perfect. So all the pain, agitation. So then we're leading into the S part, the solution of the past, the PAS, the solution. The bizarre and unlikely patch that zapped my knee pain away in minutes. Now, one day, while discovering and researching online for hours, now I switched this because I switched this. This is kind of like my placeholder. It's the way of, this is how I found out, but I'm switching this for this demo. And this is good to know for the research part and why it's so vital. And you know what? I wouldn't have found out about this if I didn't get on the phone with an individual who's in our demo with pain in her hips and everything. And this is how she finds out about most of her stuff. It's through friends. This demo is by word of mouth for sure. So I'm going to add that, obviously. Like, that's huge, because then it's like, oh wow, yeah, her friend helped her here. Oh yeah, my friend Sandra helps me out a ton all the time. My neighbor Sandra, oh, she sends me the coolest things and they work. You know what? I wonder if Sandra, you know what? I believe the story. Therefore, I'm gonna click here. Her friend showed her. That's the mindset that I'm thinking, the steps. Again, follow that. If that's true, what else is true? You're just pulling them along the way slowly. Don't sell them up top. You sell them with each line. But you already know this. So we're just going along here. Anyway, this is when you start to reveal it. It's the solution. You find out about this. I want to take care of objections up top. The reason why this is also longer, the advertorials, because this is more of a saturated market. This is pain relief. It's centuries old. It's been going on forever. So it's the most saturated market probably of all time. And so what I want to do is I want to solve those objections up top and quickly because I know that they're faced with the most. They've tried everything. That's why I'm seeing a lot of even with like I see the probiotics. There's so many probiotics now. So what makes yours really, really different? So you have to overcome certain objections that maybe someone has faced with other probiotics, with other pain relief medications. So you have to, or also objections of what this pain relief is. So this one in particular is a CBD one. So I have to up top, and I know this from getting on the phone with our person in our demo. She was still very nervous. She heard about CBD and heard about hemp. She hears the word hemp, and right away, she's been raised on the American, I guess you can call it propaganda, for years and years of saying how bad this stuff is and how it's going to kill you and turn to worse things. So it's really ingrained in her brain. So it's ingrained for a lot of people, as seniors. But once they hear it from a friend, they feel more inclined to try it because they are in pain. And I even talk about how this is even best for seniors, and the reason why, because a lot of seniors are really feeling the effects from it because it connects to their C1, C2 receptors. That is great for that cannabinoid. I have a hard time with this word, whatever, CBD, and it helps relieve that pain. So I mentioned that. Hey, by the way, this has 0 THC. It's not, what's great about that? You don't have to taste it. It doesn't have to digest. It won't hurt your stomach. And I even use a little bit of language for that personality for the demo. I grew up drinking cod liver oil because it's definitely for that demo. I've done my fair share of suffering, basically saying like, oh, I don't want to taste this. This is gross. And older individuals, they definitely have an issue with taste because taste buds are starting to decline. They have a hard time drinking water. They don't have the will or like the want to drink water. They don't feel thirsty like they used to. So taste has become a huge thing. That's why a lot of seniors tend to want really sweet things because it's powerful. They can taste it. But if it's something like this, it's strong and gross. Like they can taste it, they don't want it. So it's easy for them. Like, oh, I'd rather just put up with a pill if I don't have to taste something gross and it's in my mouth forever. So I bought it, I tested it out, and here we go. So you test it. This is what I did. I took a leap of faith. I ordered it. I started, and then I tore it open. And here's what happened. And then this is the putting the patches to the test. So now this is answering how does it work? How does it work and why is it? It's answering a lot of these things. Putting the patches to the test. Again, you're going in the steps of how would someone, just an average individual, go about ordering this? So they take it, they tear it open, they place it, and then you start to break down the features and benefits of this. How does it work? What makes it unique? This is where that mechanism comes from. This is where I would add it a lot of the times for the advertorial. What makes it unique? Why does it work better than other products that you've used or other solutions in the past? Why is this more effective? And also, why is this a good saving? So I talk about that. It lasts for 72 hours, the patch. It's not a one-time patch. It stays sticky for 72 hours. That's amazing. So I let them know like it's a good savings. And then I also break down reasonably. Now, this is the part where the solution, I break down reasonably how it works. Within 2 minutes, I noticed the throbbing started going away. Start off small. Then 10 minutes later, the swelling began to deflate. 20 minutes later, I could stand up and put pressure on my knee and only felt a slight pinch, which is a massive improvement for where I started. So she still felt pain, but it's reasonable and way better. Again, this is more about controlling the pain rather than like wham, bam, your pain's gone. Because a lot of these seniors are like, bullshit. That's not going to happen, right? Or it's black hat and they just like, they want to claim it's going to solve these things. You just can't do it. Just don't get yourself in trouble and do that. Be reasonable. Because also it lends to way better credibility and trust for you as the brand owner and product developer and all that. It's way better for the long run, obviously. Then came the big test. So this is the big one. So I lead up to 10, 20. No set reason why, but this does act fast, this product. Then came the big test. Can I walk out in the living room? She just wants to, or he or she just wants to get out in the living room. So sure enough, went out in the, and I was reasonable. I went out strolling in the living room with almost zero shooting pains and only a slight limp. I wasn't expecting it to be a miracle, but I must say I was impressed by the power of these little patches. So he or she knows that it's not going to just be instantly gone, but wow, it's manageable. We can move. I can move like I used to, because a lot of these people, when they're in that certain pain, they start to move their bodies differently because they're in so much pain. So talking about it 30 minutes. And then of course I bring back in, this is something really, really good. And this brings the hero's journey. If you think of a hero's journey, I always do this at the end of the story. So it's a tight story, 750 words tops for just the story part, right? I bring back the part with how I started. So it started with, why can't grandpa come out and play? To then, how does it solve? The patch solves it. And then sure enough, 30 minutes after I went out, I made it reasonable. 30 minutes after I went out in the living room, raved to I changed this because that doesn't sound reasonable. My son and his family showed up. They showed up. Grandpa, my grandson said, he saw me in the doorway. He dropped his coat, ran up to me, and I squatted down to give him a hug. I couldn't believe it myself. Thanks to blah, blah, blah. I have a second wind in life. So I'm showing that progression. I might probably less it up a little bit to make it more reasonable. But the point is like, here's the part that was just crappy. I sought after the solution I want. I went into the unknown. I came out, and then I was a new person. And this new person now lives a much better life, a second wind in life. And then this is the part, this is just going into, I just then break down, this is the close, you could say. I break down what the product is, the features and benefits. So what makes Blunt so powerful? And this is like bullets. You see the product with like lines all over. So these are all bullets, the features and benefits. And then again, where can I buy it? And this is going to the close. If you're suffering this, here you go. This is your best opportunity. And then, of course, I always like to massive scarcity. And this demo understands scarcity because they want to take action in their life right now because they know that their life is happening fast. As they get older, they start to talk about it more. Everything is moving very, very fast. So they know that they need to take action. So this is that action one I use a lot. We receive news, a Fox News affiliate. They're going to share the news of this product to their viewers. It's going to go out. And this is, for instance, this is a very high quality product and it's already been featured in a lot of places. This is a very strong brand from the get-go. So they're going to see it once they click. This is going to be a really good looking advertorial. That means if you're reading this right now, you're on one of the lucky few to take advantage of this internet only offer before these patches are completely wiped out. However, if you leave this page, I'm letting them know, don't leave this page. Take advantage. Without screening your offer, then we cannot guarantee you'll be able to order the name for at least 3 months and at full price. So take advantage of it now, right? And immediately goes by the guarantee. Try it risk-free. What does this mean for you? So I talk about also the quality, third-party testing. And this is high-end product. So it's actually third-party testing. And I go in more in depth on the revision, break down even more of why it's so powerful, because this is one of the best companies in California that do the third-party testing specifically for CBD, high end. So this is important for seniors because they want to know it's powerful and it's good quality. Because there's a lot of crap quality out there, free bottle trials and all this. So they want to know it's actually quality and it works. Because a lot of them are on high, little tough painkillers, right? That are doing a lot of the heavy lifting. So can this match? It's hard to say. The best thing I could do is break down the massive quality of it. And so letting them know they're getting the best form of CBD for the highest chances of pain relief. And they're just like, it's a no-brainer for them. Best quality, dial down, using term like dial down. I saw that somewhere else and I loved it. So let's see. Oh, and then how much longer? Then I ask the question, how much longer do you want to suffer with the pains and aches? Doing the hard close, letting them know, oh yeah, this is the money close. So I end with this, the final little end with this. I drop down some stats, letting them know this is how much people are spending a year that suffer with this arthritis. This is a lot of money. So then I break down how much they're going to be paying. They're only going to be paying $4.95. I fight back against the big enemy. The demo in this love to fight back against the big enemy because they hate how maybe the price of their medications. They hate that they're stuck on medications. They feel a little stuck in general of what to do, and the doctor just keeps giving them pain meds, but they're still suffering. Just the symptoms. We always talk about that. They're just covering up the symptoms. They're not solving the real pain. Yeah, breaking all that down. So boop, 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 and then I end with the Facebook. If you could make them native and have like Facebook comments at the bottom, that's best. People understand. That's what they associate it with Facebook. They recognize it. They came from Facebook possibly, so they recognize that. So that's why I always do using the Facebook comments. And that's it. And of course, the sources. So I have a CDC source down here. So that's how I write the advertorials. So if you break it down, once again, I'm going to show you, it's the past. Pain story, agitate the story. What does that mean? If that's true, then what else is true? And then the solution, how it's being discovered, how it works, what makes it unique, what makes it powerful, why you should get it now, all those things. So, and I could save this too, and I'm going to save this and you can download this and you could just basically have this for reference. Now, let me show you some examples, some real-time examples. So this is a car accident one we did. Let's see, car accident, mom exposed to driving tip that saved her life and now saved the life of others. It's a little ugly, a little style. This one's doing really well. Not right now because during the time of this recording, there is a virus and no one is driving. So start off with this. My kids and I felt like a sitting ducks. So I found a story about a mom and her kids, and they got trapped, stuck on the side of the road. It's dark, right around the bend. No one could see them. So that's where the solution of these little these lights come in handy because you can stick it on the side of the car, outside the car, and so no one could see it. It saved their life. So this is an e-com product. So this is longer because the sales page it's going to is shorter. It's an e-com page. It's not long form. It's not direct response of like sales letter style. You know what I mean? So that's why we put a lot of the leverage up top. So this is almost like acts as the sales letter, the whole big lead. You can think of it as. And then you go here and it goes to the sales page. See what I said on the Facebook? We would do it structured differently where it looks like people are leaving real-time comments but we test a bunch of fun stuff. So this one right now is a design. It's working for this. So this is another first-person story, and I've seen this a lot. This has been running for a long, long time. I changed my sleeping habits after watching a supermodel sleep on the plane. So talking about this person on a plane, they're talking about the pain of the pillowcases, waking up, wrinkles, like the pain points of that, looking gross, want to be somewhere nice. And then saw this supermodel. So all this is all the story. And then it goes, what is it? It's this. This is a pillowcase. Why is it? Why is it? It's because it's gentle. It does this. Does this because all of the pillowcases don't do that. How great. And then like, how does it work? And then, putting it to the test. I did this. This is bigger test. Day 1, I noticed this. Day 3, day 5. We do the tests. These are really powerful because it's future pacing. And I'll show you another example that I did on my own offer. And I'll show you. So because it helps people understand they're not left in the dark. They don't put it on and be like, what else, or like sleep on or whatever, and be like, what am I supposed to expect? You want to let them know what to expect and be reasonable again. Final thoughts, again, the close and then special offer. First person follows the same format that I just showed you. Pain agitation solution. This one's a little different. This is we own this brand. My business partner and I, this is our own offer for beauty. So I want to share this with you guys. So retired model wants women 45 and older throw all these anti-aging formulas. Now I've changed a lot of this, so this is a little dated, but there you go. Big thing of hers is she's the formulator. She's been in it for 30 years. So this was more of a disrupting angle. And we plan on writing a lot more advertorials and also VSL for this. But I want to show you, it follows the same format, but in the style of the disruptor. So if you find yourself counting wrinkles in the morning, you tried every wrinkle cream on earth, there's one thing you have, but no result. There's one thing you haven't done. You haven't spoken to world-renowned, celebrity skin expert, Terry. So, and then it goes in a quote from her. Again, it's using that interview kind of news style with the disruptor. So this is a disruptor, and I talk about the pain point up top. These are why women, she calls them wrinkle accelerators. Most creams are wrinkle accelerators. So then she has a ton of pictures of her, great pictures of her. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to leverage a lot of that. That's going to do a lot of the selling because she has great pictures of her hold with actual people. Look at the credibility, actual people holding the product. If you can get that, great. And then I designed this. This is just to kind of catch eye. And this is obviously pain areas where women are noticing lines that they want to get rid of. I created this design. It's nothing too sciencey. I mean, I don't even know what that is. It just looks, it adds that credibility. This is all backed up by real science, breaking down the bullet points. Again, it's following the same order. What is it? What can I expect from Dermis RX? Like I said, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and then I add that guarantee. I start slapping that guarantee a lot down here. This is saturated market, so I want to just be really heavy, be like guarantee, guarantee, guarantee. Trust us, guarantee, because it's not a free bottle. This is a higher end product. Great picture here. And then these are all verified real testimonials. And for Taboola, you have to be careful. They want it verified. So I link these all back to the homepage with the actual testimonials. So design everything, more bullets, and then of course the close. Special internet only offer, the discount, last little thing, reviews, and all that. So again, it follows that same format like I mentioned. I think also look at it this way. Look at your assets you have for the advertorial. So say, for instance, you have a bunch of badass pictures that are really, really good. That's important. That's huge. That can still be super, super valuable to the advertorial. And you can still stick to the structure of the pain agitation solution using a lot of pictures. And I'll show you some more examples. So this is one with not a lot of pictures. This is also about the same length of the first one, the example that I went through with you. So this is a e-com device. I love this picture up top before. It shows the dog kind of crazy. And then right now, it doesn't say after, but you can tell because of this device, this is what you get. I kind of love it. The phone number up top is key. I should have done that even on this one. Phone number top is super smart. And then of course, current date, more closer date. I would need to do that on mine. That's good. So they start with a question, pain, and then it goes into, this one's a little different, but it's a first person story. And then I like the sticky bar that pops up about, I would definitely test that. That's cool. Same structure, the pain, agitation, here's the solution. I tried this, here's the product, the person using the product on it, and these are the results, testimonials, and then how you can get it and what to expect. Oh, here we go, what to expect. They want to, again, what to expect, what the cost is. This is what I would do. I like the Facebook comments. And this is, again, people are used to this because they see the Facebook. They see the Facebooks, but they're used to it because of this. Hold on one second. Okay, so I like this, the Facebook comments, because again, people, it's something they're very used to. It's native to people. When I say native to people, like it's familiar. There we go. That's the word, familiar. So, and then let's go to this one. Oh, this one has a lot of pictures. I want to share this one. This is an e-com offer, affiliate probably running it. This is probably made. I know the template they probably used, or the page builder. This is a great style. It shows like a person it's coming from, the date. It shows you can share it, how you can share it. I like this layout. And then this one is interesting because they don't have to do too heavy on the mechanism of explaining it because they have a lot of pictures. This is a unique product. It shows that it's unique. Look at this. It's weird. It's that's interesting about the author. They're talking about who actually wrote this. It's nice. That's good. And as to credibility, even though that this is probably not even a person, but it does help with the credibility. What is it? Like I told you, what is it? What is it? It's this. This is what it is. It's so unique. And look at it. You can just see that it's unique. How does it work? Very easy to use. Everything has to be easy to use. Has to be. What makes Netflix so, what makes Netflix so unique? Like I mentioned, what makes it so powerful? What makes it so affordable? What makes thousands of Americans love this product and throw out the other product? Again, it's that breakdown of this. And It's sticking to the same structure. This one's a little bit shorter and a lot of get your now more aggressive, obviously more of an affiliate style offer. And a lot of affiliates use a lot of advertorials because they can what is it, track the pixel through it and everything. And that's obviously very, very important for affiliates. It's everything for affiliates. So you got to track it. Tracking is the most important. So right here, this is definitely black hat, definitely more black hat. This is the free trial bottle offer. I don't know what network it's coming from, but it's obviously their angle is they're going off of how cheap it is, how affordable. It's only $4.95. Yeah, and more new style. This is definitely more new style. Right away, for me, you get the vibe. Oh, new style that's also disruptor. They're saying that these two women created this new product, and they're disrupting the big skin industry, big cosmetic, and this is what they found out. They're not saying before and after. I don't know how they're not getting, this is definitely more black hat. But black hat, it's still, they follow a really good structure. A lot of them can still be very, very good. So I want to show you that example. And then, okay, so those are the main examples that I wanted to show you. And now I want to show you how I also do some researching. So I use Adplexity. This is my own preference because I'm mainly in the native space and I like using Adplexity for native. And then I'll use also AdSpy. I've used other things for like Facebook and so on. But native is where the advertorials thrive because that's what you need. You don't need them, but you know that's where advertorials do really, really well is in the native space. That's where you see most of them. So I'll go through here, I'll search, and I'll look for, I obviously like to do receive most traffic, and I do landing page, or also do the ad. I want to see if people use the words pain free in the ad. I think they do. I think it's very, very possible. Oh, there we go. Interesting. Let's go ahead and click here. So I'll click here. And this is kind of cool. And this is, again, I'm not saying I endorse, Adplexity, go get it. And here's my affiliate link. I don't have any of that. I like them and it works for me. Use whatever you want to use. I want to show you what I do that makes it really effective. And these are tools you can use. So I would click here and you can kind of get oh, good. Here's the advertorial. Okay, let's go ahead and click here. We'll go look at the advertorial. So we'll pop up and we can take a look at it. So here's the advertorial. Again, that more new style angle, disruptor, more black hat because they're doing the whole Shark Tank angle. You've probably seen them a ton. Very heavy. Showing the demo, older people. So this is the CBD drops. It's dirty looking, ugly. Let's see what kind of style we can kind of tell. All 15. Let's see. I just don't find it very gripping. Like who gives a shit? I always think that. Pain relief formula, 5A. It's so. I always think starting with a story is much better. It hits this for this demo. I mean, everything is so emotional right now as they're getting older and they're wanting family more. So I think it just be more powerful, but it's just nice. Worth the test, right? Okay. Don't want to get carried away and get sidetracked with that. So what I would do, and this is another source that I use right here, is if you want help with templates and want to look at all the different templates out there, first off, I click everywhere. I click on ads all the time. I have folders all over the place. I have black hat folders, white hat folders, advertorials. I'm just looking at all the different examples because I want to because then I like to piece together my own advertorials from scratch or get a designer and be like, I want to make something like this, but change it up a little like here. So I save them all. Well, here's something really cool. There's a service called Lander Lab, and you can start it up for your own. I'm not going to again, this is just what I use, but you can start it up. It's a free account. You can get started. But if you go to, when you build out your pages, if you go to, let me get back in. Boop. So you can say, let's say if I want to build a landing page, I can go select. What I like about them is they have all the main ones running right now out there. You can just click on one and use it and plug and play your own stuff. It's kind of nice. And you can also search by category. So if I want to do health, Sort by most popular, and this makes sense because I've seen this for years now. And of course, this one is big. This one I know is the doctor. I think it's Dr. Shelton. Yeah, this one. Yep. Okay. So this one is what I mentioned earlier, a jump page. See how short it is? This one is a very, very heavy on curiosity. If you've been suffering from pain, never worked, well, odds are that you haven't tried this one thing that this latest doctor from California has found, this new protein inside your body that has isolated it, and once isolated, it does this. And he's calling it blah, 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 blah. But how does it really work? Well, it turns out in his free presentation, you know what I mean? The idea is almost like an email. You can think of it as that way. Like you want to get that click. You want them to get to that video because that video has stats showing it converts at this percentage. So that's the idea, is to heavy curiosity, get them to click. Most of the times, I'm going to say most of the times, I could be completely wrong. Most of the time we use it as a way for compliance. Depends on the network of the native publishing network though. Work with your representative. Work with your rep. They'll help you out with that. So that's what I do. And here's another cool part of this is the reason why I like Adplexity and this is because if I find a cool advert on here that I haven't seen, you can import it to LanderLab, which is right here. This is LanderLab. So you can find an advertorial, click that, and it'll go right into LanderLab. It's crazy. And it makes it really, really nice. So then you have the bones of it. So then you have the bones of your advertorial, and you can just put your own copy meat over your bones, and there you go. Try to keep it as simple as possible, and I want to make it as easy for you as well, because that's the best thing I could do for you for a lot of this, for the advertorial. Make it a simple process. So with all this being said, it still takes some time to write these advertorials, but it shouldn't take that much time. As long as you stick to the RMBC method, follow those steps, and then just following this simple step of the advertorial, you should be good. If the offer is excellent, irresistible, then the advertorial should kick ass. And of course, test a lot of advertorials. I always test different clients. It depends on the offer, but I'll test like 4 angles at a time and 4 different styles. And, we test a lot, and then we hone it in and put all our money behind the big winner. So I hope that helped you out with the advertorials. Again, follow those steps, the RMBC method. It's excellent for the advertorials. It works. It's what I use to work. It's what I also give my own copywriting team that help me for my own stuff. I give them the RMBC method to use for their own advertorials. It helps them get up to speed very fast. And it also helps bang out these advertorials much faster than without it. So I hope this helped out. Thank you so much. And I'm always around, on Facebook and all of that. Take care. Bye-bye.